Life is so amazing.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on CNBC News, NBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Podchaser, GeoVan, TE Live, Rumble, and more. Why so many places? Well, I am on a Happy 88 mission. 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I want the largest possible square foot area to splatter more hope and happiness on you. And I have topics and guests that inspire or give you a reason to be a little more happy to get towards that 88%. And why do I say 88 instead of 100% happy? Because 100% happy means you're dead. We have a little contrast to know when we're unhappy, how to be happy, and vice versa. That's why I say 88, and 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. It's a homophone for good fortune. So it is your birthright to be happy 88% of the time. Today, we have a very, I'm going to try something a little bit different. We're going to do headlines to Heartlines, where I take the news the way that it has been coming out. And a lot of people have been asking, what can we do really, realistically, about all of the gun violence that's been going on? Is there anything that we can practically do? And when I asked that question, I got either it was I can't remember, a message or an email from Sandy Hook Promise. And I went through that and I stopped because I would rather go through that with you and learn about it real time with you as an example of how we all can answer the question, when tragedy hits, how do we take the feelings and the emotions and the horror and the sadness and the upset and the anger and turn that into practical, what can we do about it? And instead of continuing to talk about the problem, we can turn it around and focus on solution. So that's always what I'm trying to do here on this show. And I've only been trying for 9 years now. And I do believe that most of my listeners are with me in that turnaround, so that we're not posting or calling people to continue to exasperate the problem that's out there and post about it and make people angrier, but actually trying to soothe ourselves, knowing that we can do something no matter where we are on the planet, no matter where we are in the world, no matter what our politics are, no matter what our religious beliefs are. No one wants to see children gunned down. And that is the premise of today's show, is focusing on that solution, seeing if there's, a majority of us that can now support the Sandy Hook Promise, as well as other ways in which we can change the situation that it has become shockingly horrific and intolerable. And I'm glad to see that. So that's the topic for today. And then to balance all that out, we have a little visit from Chucky Cheese to talk about summer fun. And before we get into all of that, I also want to invite the eyeballs that are watching right now. If you want to participate in this, I'm going to give a link to the actual studio if you want to come into the studio today and join me in this exploration as we look for solution to gun violence, then please do join me. And it is on camera. So if you just woke up, you can go fix your hair, unless it doesn't matter, which is fine too, or you can be off camera when you come on. So that's the invitation for today. We're going to do this little interactive show. But as usual, we're going to start with the gratitude sandwich. So I would encourage you, if you're in the car this morning on both my AM and FM channels, you can turn to the person beside you and give them the springboard on what are you grateful for. Those of you who've been following for a little bit know this is one of my Happy 88 tools from my #1 best-selling book, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are, which is the Asian Oprah giveaway today, where I will tell you by the end of the show how to get a free copy of the audiobook. So the tool says when you wake up in the morning, do not do this and scroll away and get stuck in the quicksand morass of upsetting news. Instead, what are 8 specific things that you are grateful for? So I will pretend like I'm playing with you. And I am grateful that I have now lost almost 23 pounds since Valentine's, and even kept it off while I was in Vegas. But while it did help that I didn't go up to a buffet, but I'm grateful for that too. I'm grateful that I have a gym in my building that I get to go and do the exercise that I need to do to help keep my body healthy and semi working towards the attractive without clothes on. Number 3, I'm grateful that I do have this platform and I do have supporters always who are so kind. It's always wonderful being recognized when I'm on the carpet or wherever I'm traveling, in the airport even, or in Vegas for happiness. I can't think of a better thing to be recognized for. I am grateful for water to replenish me as I continue to sweat my bicycle riding in the mornings. And I am grateful that I have food in my fridge. I'm grateful that I get to drive up my favorite car route up the 1 to attend my younger daughter's graduation from UC Davis this Saturday morning at 8 a.m. I'm grateful that I have wonderful shows that I can re-spotlight while I'm away on Friday. I'm going to be playing the Breastival Festival and show that's still on for a few more days. Go to visionsofpossibilities.org, where you'll get to see me have a Harry Met Sally moment, if those of you know that reference. It's a show about boobs. So I'll use that to let you go and sign up to watch it before it is gone. And finally, for my gratitude number 8, I'm grateful that my daughter just got a commendation from the psychology department for outstanding performance as she graduates. And I'm just so grateful to have the joy of being a mom. And 88% of the time, it is incredibly fabulous. So celebrating all the moms, coming up the dads. Although I was a single mom for most of the upbringing, I do credit my husband for helping raise them when they were from 0 to 7. All right. Now, that is the gratitude sandwich. And what I'm going to do is start with the visit from Chucky Cheese so you can know about summer fun as we're talking about parenting. I got to interview a woman who represents the Chucky Cheese organization, and she's going to talk to us about how to magnify your summer fun if you are a parent. Enjoy. Not using it, get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And we just had the official start of summer. So I have someone special for great ideas for the family on best deals on season-long entertainment. Here with the timely suggestions is family fun expert Alejandra Brady to discuss the Summer of Fun experience and live concert tour happenings at Chucky Cheese. Welcome, Alejandra Brady.
Thank you, Dr. Marissa, for having me. Delighted to be here.
Absolutely. So, what makes this Summer of Fun even more special?
Well, we know that the last few years have been hard for families, and we know that they've had to make a lot of cancellations and they've had to say a lot of no's. So the Chuck E. Cheese Summer of Fun makes it a summer of yes. We're making it very easy for families to say yes. Yes to fun, yes to summer, good times for the family and the kids, yes to savings and value all summer long. And when the kids ask every week if we can go to Chuck E. Cheese, we want to make it very easy for them to say yes. We are the playcation destination for the summer.
Yes, you were definitely a fun saver for me as a mom of two. So what can families expect now from Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah. So outside of our four walls, we also have this wonderful tour that's happening. It's called the Summer Concert Tour Series. And we just left Chicago. We're going to Miami. Next, we're coming to you in LA at the Santa Monica Pier. And then we'll be finishing off 4th of July weekend in Dallas-Fort Worth. And it's a free outside concert. Families can come and enjoy all the characters performing live. There's a new album, the Live in Concert Summer of Fun album. And then even for folks who can't make it to our shows, they can enter for a chance to win a free and a backyard concert right in their home, thanks to the Chuck E. Cheese Summer Concert Tour Block Party Sweepstakes presented by Pure Life. So, I mean, it's entertainment, inside of our walls, outside of our walls. They can come and enjoy the theme, which is a beach bash in all of our Chuck E. Cheese Fun Centers. So whether you're traveling or you're staying at home, we're transporting the beach to you.
Wonderful. So how will the Summer of Fun fit into families' budgets? Because a lot of people have suffered some loss, no thanks to the pandemic. But at the same time, we definitely want to take care of our kids, and they deserve a break after this unplanned for disruption.
Yeah, indeed, exactly. That's exactly where the Summer of Fun Pass comes in. It's really a savings pass. It fits every budget. We have different tiers, so to fit whatever needs you have, and there's different visits and different perks that come with every pass. But the greatest thing is it's up to $100 of savings and up to 40% off every purchase. So you can use that with gameplay, or you can use that with food or drinks or anything that you want to do at Chuck E. Cheese to have a great time and make some more memories with your family, to replace some of those not so great memories, right? And so we make it very easy. It's value, it's savings, and every week you get deals and promotions. So kids are going to be wanting to know, what's the deal this week? Oh, I want that one, so mommy, take me.
Wonderful. So what are some other things that make the Summer of Fun campaign special for families?
Well, obviously the biggest treat of all is that we have the best mouse in entertainment, according to us, and that's Mr. Chucky Cheese himself, who's right here. Hey, Chucky. And so he, of course, performs in all of our Chuck E. Cheese Fun Centers every hour on the half hour, and he's got a new beach party bash dance that he's going to be performing and doing and bringing smiles to all the kids and the parents when they come visit us. And of course, he's got content on YouTube and YouTube Kids where kids can learn the dance even before they come to see us. He's even got a mobile app, Skate Universe, with a beach-themed kind of racetrack, so kids can enjoy Chucky even when they're at home. So, the Summer of Fun celebration happens indoors and even outside of our four walls.
Fantastic. I like that idea of the home parties as well. So where can we go for more information?
Yeah, so the best way is download the Chuck E. Cheese mobile app. It's a rewards program too, so you get rewarded for doing all sorts of things, including having a half birthday. We send you treats there, and that's where you can keep your Summer Fun Pass also. Or you can check us out at chuckycheese.com/summeroffun, or visit any of our locations across the country, in every major neighborhood.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live, balancing out the bad news out there with some good news. And thank you so much, Alejandra Brady, for for coming on and offering up our favorite Chucky Cheese to family fun. Thanks so much. Well, it's not every day Chucky Cheese comes, but I just realized that I missed a tremendous opportunity to tell him to make a peace sign. And it was probably because that interview happened. That interview happened when I was in Las Vegas. So remote's a little bit of a challenge. That's why I wasn't on camera. The funny story is I was crossing the street, and I thought I could do it when I was inside Harris because I was meeting some people right after, but it was too noisy with the music. So I went outside, and there was like this little alcove, where they have like hidden doors and things like that. So I went in there to do the interview, and there's a security camera there. So the security guard and the manager at Harris came out to see what I was doing. And I was doing this interview with Chucky Cheese. So that was pretty funny. So too bad nobody was there to capture that. A little bit of a mishap. But anyways, I hope that you go visit the Chucky Cheese organization if you're looking for some ideas for family fun. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, you'll be going through with me the kinds of Google searches that I do in order to find solution. Because it's not a muscle that we're necessarily taught. And I think it's a tool that is so available to us that takes some, discipline or blisscipline, as I call it. I learned that from Michael Bernard Beckwith, my big brother. So that blisscipline of moving from hair on fire, shaking your head, clicking your tongue, rolling your eyeballs at gun violence, and then moving purposefully towards solution by using what's available to us, which is an amazing thing called a search engine, to find out what's going on so we're not stuck in the problem. That's when we come back here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. Does the news scare you in the morning? I actually take my phone and plug it in outside of my bed, because I know that when I pick it up first thing in the morning, that more often than not, what I'm swiping is not good news. Some of us have forgotten that we can actually use the most powerful tool we have, called choice, to choose whether to listen to the news or not, or where we get our news. So that's why I'm so delighted to invite you to my show, 8 a.m. every weekday morning, called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show that focuses on hope and happiness and solutions to problems, instead of just ranting and raving about what's wrong with the world and what's wrong with people. Instead, I want you to find out what is good about you, good about the world, and good about our ability to be humankind. So please join me at 8 a.m. every weekday morning for Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listeners behind.
Want delicious Vietnamese Asian fusion cuisine that is so good for your health you won't believe your taste buds? Olak is a 100% plant-based vegan restaurant founded by Mai on living foods and a love for animals that won't make you sacrifice taste for health. 2 locations to delight you, downtown LA and Fountain Valley. So go to www.olac.com, AULAC, to book your reservation today. Saving the planet has never tasted so good.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and my YouTube channel, which, thanks to you, has broken the 250,000 view mark by my 9-year birthday on the air, on camera, which was my wish. In fact, we're close to 254,000. So thank you so much. If you like the show and want a little more contact with me, then please do go to drmarissa.life, join my Happy 88 tribe, and you'll get free happy tips sent to you as well. I'm Doc Balance on Instagram, and Dr. Marissa and Dr. Marissa Pay on Facebook. And thanks to you again, I've gotten that invitation to be a it's not a product. I always get this wrong. But anyways, my reels have been doing quite well. I think I had over 10,000 views on the one at the beach with the boat that came ashore. But if you want to be entertained and watch some things that might be a little more meaningful than TikTok, no offense, I am on there as well, but things that might bring you a little bit more happiness, then join me there. And I get to speak tonight yesterday you saw him getting knighted, or actually it's not Mr. anymore, it's Sir Eric Awesome Swanson. And I just saw the tag on Facebook. So just wanted to let you know that I'll be speaking, and that's coming more and more, which is a good sign, because obviously during the pandemic, lost all of the speaking gigs that I had for over 2 years, which as a motivational speaker can hurt a bit. So anyone who has any control over speakers for this coming year, please do contact me, Dr. Marissa. You can go to drmarissa1.youcanbook.me and sign me up to speak for you. The one I'm doing tonight is the Global Speakers Mastermind class, and it's at 5. And if you want to find out more information about Eric Swanson's Habitude conferences, his master classes, he's a great guy. He invited me to go to Vegas to celebrate his knighthood. So he's now a sir. And all right, here we go. Headlines to Heartlines. I just played the promo. So this is what I do when I want to move from problem to solution. So I put in my search bar, what can we do to stop gun violence? And I'm going to share, thanks to technology. All right. And this is right in Google, although in my family, we don't say Google it, we say Christina it. And now my nephew is also working at Google, so it's Christina and Aaron it. What can we do to stop the gun violence? So there's an organization called preventinstitute.org, and they actually give us some ideas read our new recommendation to prevent gun violence. I'm going to search there and see what they say. Summary of recommendations: gun safety, reduce the imminent risk of lethality, new word, through sensible gun laws. And I'm doing this with you, by the way. Normally I do research before the show, but I wanted this show to be about how we can strengthen our muscle to move from problem to solution. So let's see. Sensible gun laws reduce easy access to dangerous weapons. President Biden, assault weapons. You heard us talk about this on the air when I interviewed Paul Wilson. Just a brilliant interview where he shared his heart. I admonished him for apologizing for his tears, because tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. And we all agree, I don't care what political or religious affiliation you're with, assault weapons are not should not be part of our makeup. And if you missed that show, Paul reminded me that, it's really, the amendment was made when we had those guns with a musket. So at some point, I'm just begging those who are afraid that legislation's taking away their right to bear arms, that even though I would prefer no guns, I know that's never going to happen. But like Australia did after Sandy Hook, was ban assault weapons. Firearms and assault weapons are two different animals. Can we agree that assault weapons have no room, because they continue to lead to the horrific, brutal gunning down of our children? So I'm praying that all of us agree to that. Not obliterating guns altogether, but assault weapons. Okay. Establish a culture of gun safety. And the points under that is reduce firearm access to youth and individuals who are at risk for harming themselves and others. So I heard somewhere, the legal age, you can't even buy a lottery ticket or alcohol at age 18, but you can buy a gun. So there's something wrong with that. So the age laws, those of you who know the minds of teenagers, I really am kind of surprised and dismayed to hear that the gunman in Uvalde, or no, not in Buffalo, was 18. I'm sorry if I'm getting those mixed up. They happen quickly after the other. Reduce firearm. Okay. Hold the guns industry accountable and ensure there is adequate oversight over the marketing and sales of guns and ammunition. I just wanted to pop over, make sure the sound is okay. Engage responsible gun dealers and owners in solutions. I think that's really important. We're not trying to take away the livelihood of gun owners, gun shops. Paul again gave a solution to that. Why not have, rent a gun, come and shoot. If you want to shoot. And then, there's a safe place that you can charge to store your firearms, so it's not at home. In that accidental case of the things that do happen when a child finds a gun and ends up harming themselves or others, any of that stolen, the gun shop can make money having this additional service, which then also keeps guns out of the way of accidental firing. Let's see. Insist on mandatory training and licensing for owners. Absolutely. And require safe and secure gun storage. I just spoke to that. Underlying contributors to gun violence systematically reduce risks and increase resilience in individuals, families, and communities. So public health solutions recognize gun violence as a critical and preventable public health problem. You would think we've learned from what happened in Sandy Hook almost 10 years ago. Obviously, between Buffalo and the Uvalde and the Robb Elementary School, we have not. So all aspects need to be engaged in this. And I just was so disappointed in the governor of Texas when he said that this was all about, mental health issues, instability. It's not the fault of the gun, the ability to have guns. And I totally disagree. I'm not saying that we should not have some focus as well on the public health, as the suggestion is. So you can see there are 14 recommendations there, full recommendations. There's so much we can do. So, and that was from one site, just by putting in how can we, that was my question into Google, do something to reduce the risk of gun violence or this happening again. So the other thing that came up, even, let's see, 6 real ways we can reduce gun violence in America. Time magazine did a giant article. I didn't see any of this shared on social media. I saw on social media either, stop guns altogether, or I saw all the gun organizations scrambling to block all legislation, and to find out that we're missing 60 votes to pass the no assault weapons legislation. I was so shocked and dismayed. So I am again appealing to those who want to protect their right and the amendment to please, it's not about your firearms, it's about the assault weapons. All right, let's see if I can do the sound on this. Not sure. Okay, so this is an interesting, but the sound is, let's see. Here we go. This is an interesting clip that I just found.
Super powerful. But how to get that way? Here's a brief history. The NRA was founded in 1871 by Civil War veterans concerned that their fellow Yankees had forgotten how to shoot. They started the NRA to fix that. The whole idea was to promote rifle practice. Over the next few decades, the NRA waded gently into politics. In the 1930s, for instance, when gangsters with Tommy guns were all over the news, Congress debated a bill called the Firearms Act, which is widely known as the first real gun control bill. The NRA opposed it, lobbying Congress to take out any mention of pistols and revolvers, but they were willing to live with regulations on submachine guns and sawed-off shotguns. So, by today's standards, pretty tame. Let's fast forward to the 1960s. We have the Civil Rights Movement, urban riots, students protesting the Vietnam War, rising crime rates, and a number of high-profile assassinations, from JFK to MLK Jr. To many in mainstream America, there was just this feeling that violence was overtaking society. So in 1968, when the Black Panthers began to carry guns as an act of civil disobedience, it was a bridge too far for middle class, especially white Americans. Lawmakers across the country, liberals and conservatives alike, began pushing for gun control laws. The Republican Party's national platform even supported gun control on tough-on-crime grounds. And in California, Governor Ronald Reagan led the gun control charge. But the reaction was swift. Gun owners, especially rural conservatives, already alienated by rapid cultural shifts, began to worry. Was the government coming for their guns next? So they began mobilizing, lobbying, and joining the NRA. Between 1964 and 1980, NRA membership tripled, from 600,000 to nearly 2 million, and its coffers exploded with new dues. For the NRA's old guard, who still thought of the NRA as a shooting club, it was a weird time. In 1977, new NRA members ousted the old board and replaced them with new and much more political leadership. From there on out, the NRA was extremely hardline about opposing all gun control.
I am against the kind of gun control that is being talked in the Congress of the United States. I see it as only something that would make it difficult for an honest citizen to own a gun, but would do nothing at all to impede the criminal in his getting a gun.
And in 1980, it endorsed its first presidential candidate, Ronald Reagan. In the 1990s, 2 gun control laws were passed, but they were relatively limited in scope and built to expire.
Since the Brady Bill passed, 250,000 felons, fugitives, and mentally unstable persons have been stopped from purchasing handguns.
And then, in the early 2000s, the NRA really began to hit its stride.
From my cold, dead hands.
It rolled out its grading system, issuing A+ to politicians most in line with its vision, and Fs to those in favor of gun control. Voters take that system seriously. The right grade makes or breaks a politician's career. A few years later, in 2008, it won a huge Supreme Court case, finding that the Second Amendment guaranteed private individuals, and not just a well-regulated militia, a constitutional right to own guns. In 2016, the NRA spent $419 million on political campaigns, and more than $30 million on Donald Trump alone.
There's no bigger fan of the Second Amendment than me, and there's no bigger fan of the NRA.
It also endorsed Trump earlier than it had endorsed any presidential contender ever.
I'm officially announcing the NRA's endorsement of Donald Trump for president.
Today, the NRA is, by nearly any measure, at the top of its political power, but it's also facing a brand new challenge: furious teenagers.
Every politician who is taking donations from the NRA is saying on you.
In the name of 17 people, you cannot ask the NRA to keep their money out of your campaign.
After the mass shooting in Parkland, Florida, young people have been staging walkouts, planning protests, and demanding exactly the kind of gun control the NRA has spent the last 50 years fighting. And while many of these students can't even vote yet, in a few years, the NRA may have more to worry about at the polls.
We will accept nothing less than comprehensive gun control. And if it's what it takes, we will shame our national policymakers into protecting us.
Wow. I am so glad I found that doing the research that we're doing from Headlines to Heartlines. That is the landscape and why it answers my question. Why is it so difficult to change the legislation around guns? I just didn't understand it to the extent that I now do from that really balanced, I believe, and researched piece on how the NRA got so strong and how the political got tied into all of that. Scary business. So I'm going to finish up this particular show on how to move from the headline and the reactions toward it that are fear-based and or frustration or sadness or anger to your heartline and what we can do for solution. So I'm going to go again and share what I was sent, which I would like all of us to fill out and take action for. So this is the Sandy Hook Promise, and you can donate, but the thing that there's an action for you to fill out to be able to send a letter to legislation to make the changes. So they have this letter that is already written out, and you just put in who your local person is to be able to contact them. So I am going to, I screenshotted, I thought this might be on this, but all right. So tragedies like the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, are not inevitable. There are bipartisan common sense gun safety reforms that we know would prevent future tragedies, including bipartisan background check legislation and extreme risk protection orders. So let's stop sharing that. And I'm going to go. They just texted me yesterday. I was trying to get someone to actually come in and speak about it. And I still am trying. We almost had one, but the timing wasn't good. But what you do is fill out this form. And yet Congress has not passed even one of these critical pieces of life-saving legislation. There's a real risk, human toll, to inaction. So this was done in the name of the children that died in the brutal gun violence at Sandy Hook almost 10 years ago. So obviously we are not learning. What is that saying? We are going to repeat. We are, oh boy, Paul, do you know remember that saying? I wrote it down somewhere. I can't find it. We are doomed to repeat that which we don't acknowledge or want to change. So there's a real risk with children's lives at risk. Every moment that lawmakers delay, we need 100,000 people to demand their members of Congress to take immediate action. And this is what we can do. Please send a message to your members of Congress now urging them to advance common sense gun safety reform. And this is an easy link. You just, go to Sandy Hook Promise and you put in your name. And you can personalize your message. Dear elected official, I'm writing as your constituent and supporter of the Sandy Hook Promise. On May 24th, 21 precious lives were stolen by a preventable act of gun violence in Uvalde, Texas. Congress must take action now. Across the country, children are dying every day in places and spaces that should be safe. The Senate has multiple solutions on the table that would help curb violence and protect young people. Please work with your colleagues to find a common sense bipartisan solution. Your action and leadership will honor the memories of the lives taken by gun violence and help ensure no family has to experience this horrific tragedy again. I'm urging you to make bipartisan gun violence prevention a top priority. Sincerely, and then you put your name, you sign it, and you send it. So if we can all send 8 letters today, what a difference that will make. Like anyone who is concerned, if you really care, if you can take the time to post something about how sad or angry you are, then you can take the time to fill this out and send it to your local legislation. Okay? I mean, this is really, I purposely spent this show doing this because a lot of us want to, we say we want to, and then, life gets in the way. And then we just, oh, I don't even want to hear about it anymore. It's too depressing. That is not the reaction that is going to make a difference. The reaction is get upset, okay? And then take that energy and move to solution, knowing that there is something that can be done. So that's what I'm hoping you're going to do. Let's see if we can find the exact place to fill that in. And this is all, again, part of the way that you can move from any problem to any solution. Same with homelessness. Same with mental health. Same with any of the things that are affecting us. PTSD, post-pandemic stress disorder. Whatever the issue is, you can do something about it. So let's put in taking action with Sandy Hook Promise. Okay. And here we go. That's all right. That's a charity. I know where's the form. Stand with us. Here it is. All right. So I want to make sure that we are sharing that. And there is the website. Make the promise. You press this, you put in your name. I'm going to put in my name right now. I purposely waited for us to do this together. So if you are listening now or later or watching now or later, if you're in the car, you want to pull over. But it is sandyhookpromise.org, and it'll just hit the take action. And this is gmail.com and my cell phone. And my zip code. And Polly, you can go ahead and give me a time check. Let's see, as I'm doing this. Gun violence is preventable from the murder of 20 children and 6 educators at Sandy Hook Elementary to the 41 children shot every day in the U.S. What steps should we take to prevent gun violence? Check all that apply. Teach students and adults how to identify early warning signs, pass common sense gun safety reforms, improve access to mental health treatment and support services, promote more inclusive environments in schools to stop bullying and prevent the depression that can lead young people to hurt themselves or others. Next. Research shows that 4 out of 5 school shootings, the attacker told someone about his or her plans in advance. If a student saw a warning sign on social media or heard a threatening remark, would you want him or her to report it? Yes, we must teach young people that they can save lives and prevent strategies by saying something to a trusted adult. And no, I don't think there are any warning signs, which is kind of ridiculous. Let's see, how are we doing on time? As part of our effort to prevent gun violence, Sandy Hook Promise provides research-based Know the Signs program, like Say Something to Schools and Communities at so cost. So if your school doesn't already have someone coming to talk about this, if you're in the PTA or if you have a kid in school, then ask the administrators to do this. Should we teach more people how to identify warning signs and intervene? Yes, even just one person can prevent a tragedy, and we need more young people and educators equipped with this skill. Yes, going to next. At Sandy Hook Promise, our goal is simple: to ensure no other parent has to experience the heartbreaking loss of a child. Do you have any children or grandchildren? I have children. I have not. I'm grateful for that. I have children. I care about protecting children from gun violence. How important do you think it is to protect more children? Extremely important. I will donate. Okay, so I think that's it. So I'll donate on my own, but therein lies the action, the Heartline. I hope that you have joined me in this particular effort to do something about gun violence. If there's nothing else that you're going to do, let's make the promise. Also, let's do the letters. There are organizations that are doing good. It is up to us to find them easily, as I showed you on today's show, as well as do the required action. This is Dr. Marissa asking you to hashtag be the change. We can do this. We can make the changes. We can be as powerful as the NRA. We have the side of compassion and common sense that assault weapons do not belong in the hands of 18-year-olds, that we can make a difference with warning signs. We can support organizations like the Sandy Hook Promise, as well as the first one that I went to with the prevention. There's so many ways in which we can do something. All right. So there's my appeal. We're coming up towards the end of my hour. I would like to Asian Oprah giveaway today, an audiobook copy of 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. If you are not 88% happy and want to work with me, go to drmarissa.life. In the subject line for today's Asian Oprah giveaway is hashtag be the change. So hashtag be the change, and you'll get a free copy of my #1 best-selling 8 Ways to Happiness. As well, I'm also giving away a pair of tickets to the Saban Theater this Friday. For those of you who did not know, the Bob Eubanks, who you may remember, I'm aging myself, although I'm ageless. He was the host on the Newlywed Game. Did you know that he actually brought the Beatles to America? So I'm giving away those 2 tickets. Go to drmarissa.life. In the subject line, put in the Newlywed Game, and I'll know that you listened to this, and you'll get a pair of tickets to the Saban Theater this Friday night. I believe the show starts at 8. And if you haven't visited sabantheater.org, please do. I'm going to be giving away more tickets like Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Cheech and Chong. And I just found out that the Temptations are coming there in January. So if you missed my backstage interview that I just did Saturday night with the Temptations, or with Halle Berry, or John Travolta, or Quincy Jones, go free subscribe at my YouTube channel. I know the eyeballs that continue to support and watch, but maybe not interact necessarily, are a lot of watchers from YouTube, my YouTube channel, which is growing leaps and bounds, and thank you for that. All right. Well, that's the end of show number 715. I am so grateful to all of you for continuing to support the show about hope and happiness. If you'd like to be a sponsor of this show for as little as $100, you can support the show about hope and happiness. If you would like to be a guest on the show and promote your book or your service or your product, it's the same deal. Just contact me at drmarissa.life for very affordable rates, and you will support my nonprofit, 8 Ways to Happiness. It is helping kids, teens, and young adults who have temporarily forgotten their birthright to happiness. If you shop on Amazon, you can help by going to Smile Amazon and putting in 8 Ways to Happiness. And that way Amazon gives me a little bit of love. All right. This is Dr. Marissa reminding you it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go forth and multiply the humankind that you are. Have the best day ever. See you tomorrow.